each other. They were always together. Pablo started stealing, hubcaps, cars, and they started with the coke business, 1, 2 keys. Gustavo Gaviria had the contacts all over the world for the cocaine distribution. They were sending loads to Mexico, to, remember General Noriega in Panama? Gustavo Gaviria, like I said, Pablo's cousin was the one. They did a lot through the Caribbean, especially. They did a lot through Haiti. This is in the mid-'80s, and they had a famous contact in Haiti. In fact, the president of Haiti, Jean-Bertrand Aristide, was a drug trafficker. Matter of fact, Aristide was receiving a lot of loads from Pablo Escobar. And Steve and I are in Miami, and we're getting ready to indict Aristide when we get the call from, I'm going to say it, I'm retired, I don't care, We get a call from the White House that says you will not be indicting President Aristide. I'm not going to mention who the president was during this time.
Wait, why not?
Steve, you're the one. Okay, you get in trouble. Man.
Okay, I won't tell you the name of the president, but his wife might have run for office in the United States recently. You figure it out.
He said it, I did not. So, anyway.
And I'm retired as well, so
yeah.
we're good.
And remember, there was no extradition between Colombia and the U.S. The U.S. was putting a lot of pressure on Colombia for extradition. And we finally, in 1990, we have him located. He comes out shooting. Obviously, we had to kill him. Pablo never forgave us for the death of his cousin. I said he was the one who was running because of the distribution network. Gustavo Gaviria gets killed. Now, when we were chasing Pablo Escobar, and you're going to hear a lot of stories about that Robin Hood myth, which we will, Robin Hood didn't put a bomb on an airplane. Robin Hood didn't kill a presidential candidate. He gave a lot of money to the poor. They loved him in Medellin. When we started chasing Pablo, like I said, because we didn't have that much information, we didn't have many informants, nobody wanted to go up against Pablo. Pablo was so strong. He had hundreds of bodyguards. But you know why he was so strong? Because of this line of characters down here, the sicarios, assassins. Escobar had 300 to 500 assassins, sicarios, working for him. And you know what? Talk about leadership skills. I hate to say it. Escobar had some great leadership skills. He used to have a meeting at La Terraza, the terrace. And I just found out the terrace was one of the churches, Catholic churches in Medellin, in a poor neighborhood. He would call a meeting. There'd be about 500 of his 13, 14, 15-year-old kids waiting there. Pablo would go, hug them, kiss them. He'd give them money. Everybody wanted to work for Pablo Escobar during this time. Great leadership skills. In fact, I remember speaking to one of the sicarios after Escobar declares war on Colombia. The kid, he was 14 years old, admitted to me he had already killed 10 police officers at $100 a head because of the orders of Escobar. He said, we love Pablo. We will die for Pablo. He said, our life expectancy in Medellin is about 22, 23 years old. So we never realized that Pablo's base, that power base, was based on the sicarios. This guy was probably Escobar's most favorite sicarios. Then Denny Munoz Mosquera, they called him La Tica. We pretty much, there was an analyst, and back time, at this time in Medellin, we didn't need no stinking probable cause. We would intercept phones. We'd pay the phone guy. We would intercept the telephones. And again, bosses, I always talk about also trying leadership. Listen to the guys who are on the ground. We learned that because they're the ones who know what's going on. An analyst